Valley Vet Supply is devoted to providing information and professional quality products at reasonable prices.
Valley Vet Supply.
This segment is brought to you by the Kansas Soybean Commission. The Soybean Checkoff. Progress powered by Kansas farmers.
Welcome back to Farm Factor and the Kansas Soybean Update.
This is the Kansas Soybean Update. It's brought to you by the Kansas Soybean Commission. The Soybean Checkoff, progress powered by Kansas farmers. Kevin Scott, a grower from South Dakota who is a member of the governing committee of the American Soybean Association, is joining us. And Kevin, we wanted to talk about soy stats. And soystats.com, what is that all about?
Well, SoyStats traditionally been a great asset for farmers and leaders trying to get the message out to people who don't necessarily understand what we do in the soybean industry and the numbers that come along with what we produce. For me, personally, I use the SoyStats in a backup for my knowledge base on what we produce in the U.S. And if I'm talking to people who don't have an understanding of that, I don't want to give them the wrong information, and the SoyStats is a great place to go for the accurate information that we can produce.
Accurate in the aspect that if you're just talking to a consumer, you can give them so many facts about what you're able to do and what that soybean is able to do.
Locally, we're focused highly on all the data that we produce, and oftentimes the consumer or the buyer internationally is not necessarily concerned with what's happening outside my window, and that's kind of what farmers like to focus on, and we have the best knowledge of, but we need to know what the industry is doing as a whole as to how we can supply their markets or their needs based on what the national crop is doing. And the SoyStats is a piece of information for that reason.
And for those customers out there who want that product or maybe want to know more about that product, and especially when you're dealing with them in trade, boy, that's important to say, we've got these numbers here to show what we're able to do and why we're able to do it.
Not only the numbers, but the uses that we have for the product, whether it be through biodiesel or ink or any of the industrial uses that we have. People are not sure what a soybean is used for. And we assume that most people know that it's used for feed, but that's not necessarily the case. When we talk to other people, it's awful good to know what that soybean is actually capable of. It's a tremendous crop, and the SoyStats gives us a little bit of a background as to where we use soybeans in the industry worldwide.
SoyStats would not be possible if not for the sponsorships of many, including the Kansas Soybean Commission.
Absolutely, and we are very thrilled with the Kansas Soybean Board as they've supported us for a number of years in that area. So without all of our state affiliates and so forth to supply the money needed for that information, we would not have that asset available to us to use when we're trying to sell the products. And it is critical that we have state sponsorship and national sponsorship of those critical programs for us.
Kevin Scott, a South Dakota grower and a member of the governing committee of the American Soybean Association, has been our guest on the Kansas Soybean Update. It's brought to you by the Kansas Soybean Commission. The Soybean Checkoff, progress powered by Kansas farmers. Learn more at kansassoybeans.org. For Kansas Soybeans, I'm Greg Akagi.
Hope you enjoyed this week's Kansas Soybean Update. Stay with us after the break for more Farm Factor with Kyle and Tom Buis.
I will take action against herbicide-resistant weeds. I will know my weeds, and I will stop them before they go to seed. I will do whatever it takes to give my crops the upper hand, and I will use multiple herbicide sites of action because every action counts. I will take action, this time for all time.